of an Israelite.
Yep.
I mean, even you, I know you have a testimony to tell. When you first came in the truth, the brother Elder Ramlab here, you had these so-called elders, which, thank the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he took a giant broom and sweep all them niggas away.
Yep.
They were giving you a hard time about the way you look.
Yeah, yep.
I mean, you could say your testimony out here. You could say your testimony on that, so the other brothers can hear and be comforted, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's true. I mean, I went through that. When I first came into the school, you know, because I'm real light, you know. So a lot of guys was looking at me sideways. I mean, not all of them. You had some of them that you know knew that I was a Ephraimite, an Israelite, but a lot of them were giving me that cold shoulder, you know, because of the way I look, you know. And I mean, it didn't make me feel good, you know. And
Lahab was one of them.
Yep. And I always wondered why the Lord, you know, would put me through that, you know. And I didn't really understand it, but I understand it now.
It was a test of your faith.
Yep, a test of my faith, and also to for those brothers that's coming in now, you know, so they can have testimony of the things that you know that I went through, so that they can be comforted.
But wait a minute, is it not written, "Be ye not high-minded"?
But
for thou standest by what?
By faith.
No, by documents, brother.
By faith.
No, see, at our house we have parchment of documents, certified documents. Elder Gabar is the son of son of such and such and such.
Of the tribe of Benjamin.
Of the son of Adam, who is an Israelite.
Right.
Stamped.
Yep.
With laser fire.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. You could even see the singe marks on it.
Yeah. It's still smoking today as we speak. Amazing. We stand by faith, brothers.
That's right.
As it is written. That's why it is written, "Be not high-minded,
but fear.
But fear, for thou standest by faith." Paul said that. But evidently it doesn't apply to Zabak.
Yep.
You see how high-minded he is. He just knows who's an Israelite and who's not an Israelite. Amazing.
And he'll scoff at men that are way more spiritual than him, 1,000 million times more spiritual than him, that could look at guys and tell.
Men whose pinky toe is more spiritual than him.
That's right.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
You know, that can see, you know. I mean, we always say, even when we see these people, that it's possibility that they might be Jakes, or they could be Jakes, you know, because only the Lord knows. But the bottom line is, only Israel is going to act like Israel. The other nations don't have that spirit like Jake has, you know, to act the way they act, to dress the way they dress. I gave an example of that last time.
Yeah, the
Lord
got them
Hamites.
Right, the Lord said we're a peculiar people.
That's right.
As it is written. Go on, brother.
Yeah, you have them Hamites that come to New York and they try to dress like Jake, and you can pick them out like a sore thumb.
You can see, Stevie Wonder could see him.
You know, and they're dark like Jake, but they can't blend in. You know, but here it is, this one dude don't look like an Israelite, but he blended in, you know. Why? Because his spirit is a spirit of an Israelite.
That's right.
You know?
That's right, man. That's right. And again, like I said, this is all by faith. Again, in the book of Romans 8:24, Paul said, he spoke about the hope.
That's right.
That we should be saved.
That's
again,
right.
Hope alludes to what? Faith.
Yep.
In the book of Ephesians 2:8,
we are saved.
Paul said, it is the gift of faith,
right,
which the Most High gave us to even believe in this thing.
That's right.
It's based upon faith, because none of us have those papers that actually say, like they had in the ancient world, because genealogy was reckoned by the books.
Even during the time of Yahushua.
Even during the time of Yahushua. At one time, a person's family, they would put the family tree in the Bible. They would put the names. If a son was born, this is before the birth certificate. If a son was born, which we all know the story about that, the birth certificate, that's the warehouse paper for the elites, so the elites could make money off us, right? But before the birth certificate, you would have the Bible, and you would have the names of the family in the Bible. All right? So that's spiritual.
Right.
So back then you had the names written in the books, and genealogy could be reckoned. We don't have that now, brothers. We have the ultimate book, and it's through the Spirit that we know that we are the Hebrew Israelites. It's totally spiritual. Is it not written, blessed is he that have not seen and yet believe?
Yep.
There you go.
Yahushua told that to Thomas.
There you go. And you know why that's kind of heavy? He said that because our nation would be approaching a time where we wouldn't see, but yet we would believe.
Right.
We're in that time now.
That's why Paul told the Israelite foreigners in Rome that they were grafted in by faith, and then the Jews were casted out because of unbelief. But he said that the same faith that the Lord bestowed upon those Israelite foreigners to be grafted in, the Most High was going to bestow upon the Jews to be grafted back in. Why? Because he knew that in the latter times it was going to be all about faith.
Yep.
It wasn't going to be about genealogy and
having the books.
Yep.
And knowing who's who.
That's right.
Whose father was who. Right.
That's right.
Like you said, genealogy.
Yep.
Yeah. So, let me see. Let me go to Isaiah 2, 1 to 5. Isaiah, the 2nd chapter. And you know, these so-called white people, you can tell they're not Israelites because they're not into the Bible, man.
Nope.
Let's look at this thing spiritually. When last you see these so-called white people being heavy into the Bible? You don't see that. We're the ones that's heavy into the Bible.
That's right.
Why? Because we're Israelites. We have that natural connection to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
Right. That's right.
The so-called white man has a natural connection to Satan. You ever watch him at a rock concert? Oh, they go crazy, man. They go nuts when that music starts playing.
The demonic horns start playing.
And the demonic sounds come out in them speakers. And they get a little Budweiser in them. They get a little, what else they drink? Schlitz malt liquor or whatever the hell they drink. That's when the devil comes leaping out of them. Then you see them do the monoconoto, the horned hand of Satan. Because that's who their God is. That's who they are. Now, we're talking about the Korean, right? He would have been into what? Buddha.
Yep.
He would have been coming up talking about Buddha. Buddha this and Buddha that. You didn't have that so-called Korean saying that.
Nope.
He was inquisitive. He wanted to know about the salvation. Why? Because he was an Israelite.
He was searching.
He was searching.
And he basically found,
he found generic food. He found a generic brand of Israelites.
Right.
He found a generic brand.
Right.
He didn't find the real deal.
Yeah, that's the deal.
If he came by our camp, he would have definitely got a much different treatment.
Yep.
And you've seen, beginning with Elder Tahar, you've seen Elder Tahar say, look, I don't know what your nationality is. If it's according to the sign, then there's a chance you might be an Israelite.
Right.
And he'll always ask about what is your nationality? Is your nationality Irish or is it Italian? Because majority of those Irish, majority of those Italian are Jakes. And let's come down to common sense. The biggest nation on the planet Earth right about now is who?
Israel.
So the chances are of you running into Israelite is it not greater?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're the biggest nation. Is it not written that Israel is as the sand of the sea?
Yeah, which is innumerable. That's why.
Which cannot be numbered?
Yeah, that's why John said that it was a great multitude, which no man could number. You know? And those are the ones that were saved.
Yeah, because you got these guys, you want to make everybody an Israelite. I got news for you. The biggest nation on the planet Earth right about now is the children of Israel.
That's right.
So deal with that.
And it's funny because when they were first created, they were the fewest among the nations. You know? But the Most High made them a great multitude pursuant to the blessing that the Most High blessed Abraham with. That in him and all nations shall be blessed in his seed. Why? Because they were going to be Israelites among all these nations.
Yeah, because even one tribe is like a nation.
Yep.
All right? And then again, that's the parable Yahushua taught about, the parable of the mustard seed.
Yep.
The mustard seed is indeed the smallest of all seeds.
Yep.
But when it grows into a tree, It's the biggest of all trees.
Yep.
The musket tree.
It has all different birds.
It has all different birds lodging in the branches of it.
Yep.
That's correct. Anyway, Isaiah 2:1 says this. It says, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. Well, this is when we're in our rulership. As you well know, all the nations, the other nations, the real ones of the other nations will be our subjects.
That's right.
Will be our slaves. Because if you're going to make a nation of kings, kings have what?
Servants.
Servants or subjects.
Yep.
People that are below them, people that are beneath them.
That serve them.
And serve them. All right, so that's our destiny. All right, reading on. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Why? Because they're going to be slaves. And the spears, or the pruning hooks and the plowshares represents instruments of what?
Of slavery.
Of slavery, because they're going to be working. They're going to be cultivating our farms,
yep,
raising our crops. They're going to have plenty of employment. All right?
There won't be no unemployment.
There won't be no unemployment. And the first ones, and by the way, the word employment, when you look it up, it means slavery. That's right.
Yep.
And I forgot the law dictionary that brings it out.
Yeah, employee and employer relationship.
Right.
The employer is the master, and the employee is the servant, basically.
There you go. That's right, brother. That's right. And that comes from back then. We used to be heavy into the law, beginning with Elder Tahar. This is something y'all don't know about Elder Tahar, man. You want to talk about confounding judges in court? He was doing it.
That's right.
That's right. He was doing it. He was, through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he got so good with that law that he was confounding those so-called judges.
Yep.
And the what is that called?
Beaten cases and all that.
Beaten cases. What is that called when you put a deposition together? What is it called?
Affidavit.
Term.
Affidavit.
Yeah. But there was a term it was called. A law term. It wasn't subpoena ducis tecum.
No.
It was a.
Can't think of it right now. It's been so long, you know.
Yeah, but it was one. Judge was it that said that the deposition that he put together was better than most lawyers.
Oh yeah.
What the hell is that called?
The bill of particulars.
Bill of particulars. That's it. That's something you brothers can look up. You know, whenever you have a case, you put a bill of particulars together. Now, Elder Tahar put a bill of particulars together that was so good that this judge said that the bill of particulars that he put together was better than most lawyers. So the point is that you got to do your studying. Again, I'll repeat the scripture, 2 Timothy 2:15, study to show thyself approved, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. You know? And the point is that you're going to have Israelites that are going to look like the other nations. That's just the point. All right, so I mean, I think we've pretty much covered what we need to say. You know, again, it is written,